now. Maxani gets it. Look out! Muurinen! You knew that was coming.
The 18-year-old EuroBasket's breakout prospect Miikka Muurinen, or simply Slim Jesus, just made a career move that shocked everyone. Instead of finishing his last year of high school and then going the traditional college route like almost every other 5-star recruit, he's moving to Europe to play professionally. That's not just rare, it's almost unheard of for someone in his position. So let's try to make some sense of it. You see, for most top prospects these days, whether they're American or international, the path is clear. Dominate high school and the AAU scene, head to the NCAA, cash in on NIL deals, then declare for the draft. Muurinen was on that track for the last few years. He left Finland at 15 to play in Spain, then made the move to the US, spending a season at Sunrise Christian Academy in Kansas before transferring to AZ Compass Prep in Arizona. Those are two of the biggest prep programs in the country, the exact kind of places you go if you're aiming for the NCAA. But then came the EuroBasket 2025. Representing Finland at just 18 years old, Muurinen became one of the stories of the tournament. His averages weren't eye-popping, but his highlights were.
Sashu Salin looks long. He's all right. Oh!
Dunking in transition, blocking shots, and hitting clutch threes. More importantly, including these two massive ones right in Nikola Jokic's face, as Finland pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the century, eliminating Serbia. If you want a full breakdown of those plays, I actually made a separate video on that if you want to check it out later. But the point is that that tournament put him on the map in a way that no high school game or AAU showcase ever could. So the plan seemed simple. One more year of high school, then college, and then the NBA. But less than 2 weeks after the EuroBasket ended and just 4 days before the EuroLeague season started came the headline nobody expected. Miikka Muurinen has signed with Partizan Belgrade, an 18-year-old signing with one of the most historic clubs in Europe. A team that's coached by Željko Obradović, who's won a record-high 9 EuroLeague titles. Essentially the Phil Jackson of European basketball if Jackson screamed a lot more.
Fuck you, everybody! Fuck you, okay? You want me to repeat million times? Fuck you, Gigi Dodome! Okay? Shame on you!
Maybe Greg Popovich is a better comp then. Honestly, I just couldn't believe what I saw at first. Now, here's why this is such a shock. The EuroLeague is basically the last place you would expect a young prospect to go. Unlike the NBA, where tanking teams give rookies minutes to see what they've got or to develop, EuroLeague is win now, with no ifs and buts about it. Coaches simply don't care about developing teenagers who will leave for the NBA anyways. They care about winning today because a couple of losses can be the difference between making the playoffs or not. Or for them personally, whether they have the job or do they get fired. That's why most young guys avoid it. Look at Victor Wembanyama, for example. Even as the best prospect of the century, when he was at Asvel in the EuroLeague, he barely touched the floor. He decided to leave and play for Metropolitans 92 in France, who were playing only in the French league just so he could get minutes before his draft year. Same thing with Giannis back in the day. He never touched the EuroLeague as a teenager. He stayed in Greece, played in a small domestic league, but at least he was on the floor. Kristaps Porzingis, same deal. Although he was in the best domestic league in Europe, he still played for Sevilla, not Real Madrid or Barcelona, so he could actually develop. And as always, there are a few rare exceptions. For example, Deni Avdija got solid minutes with Maccabi before jumping to the NBA. Nikola Topic was supposed to be the lead guard at Crvena Zvezda, but an injury cut that story short. And then there's Luka Doncic with Real Madrid, but let's be real. Luka doesn't count. He was EuroLeague's regular season and Final Four MVP at 18. That's not a model anyone else can follow, that's just once-in-a-lifetime talent. So when you line up the usual paths, play for a smaller European club or go to high school then college, Muurinin's choice looks like the opposite. He's going straight into the deepest end of the pool. EuroLeague, a demanding coach and an arena of 20,000 hopeful fans singing and screaming every night. For an 18-year-old, this feels super risky. And honestly, that's what makes it fascinating because this move comes with some massive challenges. Before I tell you what those are, make sure you are subscribed to our channel as we release weekly NBA videos through an overseas lens. Now, the first challenge is going to be playing time. Partizan isn't in business of developing prospects. They are built to win now, loaded with talented Americans who have established leading roles and veterans who know how to handle the grind of the EuroLeague. EuroLeague. If Muurinen makes mistakes, he won't get a long leash. A bad rotation, a missed box out, a miscommunication on defense, or a poor decision on either end of the floor, and he's back on the bench. Essentially, the minutes will have to be earned as they won't be given. The second challenge is the style. EuroLeague is slower, more physical, and more tactical than what he's used to. Defenses are tighter, spacing is smaller, and every possession matters. Raw athleticism just won't cut it. He'll have to show he can make the right reads, rotate properly, and stay disciplined on defense, which wasn't exactly his bread and butter in the EuroBasket. Obradovic, his new coach, is notorious for stopping practice over one mistake. Clips of him ripping into players during timeouts are just legendary.
What do you want, Costa? Now you ask me what to play, huh? So all the life, you wait for me, okay? All the life, and all of you.
But that's the value. Obradovic doesn't care if you're a veteran or a rookie, you get the same treatment. That kind of discipline can be brutal, but it can also build habits that last a lifetime. So the third challenge is mental, especially in the AAU, but even at the EuroBasket, Muurinen could play with freedom. AAU basketball is all about showcasing individual talent, running in transition, and making highlight plays. For Finland, although the boundaries were much tighter, the team also played a lot of transition basketball and let the players improvise. Now at Partizan, he'll be under the microscope. Thousands of demanding fans, intense pressure, and a coach who seeks perfection. There might be games where he barely plays or stretches where he feels invisible. That can break a young player if they're not mentally ready. But here's the flip side and why I think this move might actually be genius. Even if he only gets 5 to 10 minutes, those minutes will be in the most competitive basketball environment outside the NBA. He'll be practicing every day against veterans, learning under the greatest European coach ever, and playing in front of the loudest fans in the world. That's an experience no high school, no college, no G League can replicate. Think about what that does for his growth. Instead of dominating high schoolers for another year, he's forced to sharpen every detail. Spacing, positioning, decision making. Those are the exact things young players usually struggle with when they hit the NBA. Another thing that people miss, this isn't forever. He signed a 3-year deal worth about 1.5 million euros, but he's free to leave for the NCAA next season. And according to Muurinen, that is the primary plan. So it looks like a big contract, a long commitment, but practically is just a 1-year pit stop. He'll go through this EuroLeague chapter and then head to college with way more experience than any of his peers, essentially getting best of both worlds. Finally, I don't think Partizan signed Muurinen purely for basketball reasons. Let's be honest, this move is just as much about marketing. When they announced this signing, the post on social media did almost 1 million views. For comparison, when they signed Jabari Parker, a former number 2 pick in the NBA, that announcement barely cracked 170,000 views. That's a big number, but still 5 times less than what Muurinen's signing generated. An 18-year-old kid from Finland pulled 5 times more attention than an ex-NBA star, which says a lot. And it makes sense. Muurinen was one of the most talked about players in the EuroBasket 2025. His highlights went viral, his nickname Slim Jesus gave him instant recognition, and now Partizan gets to ride that wave. Even if he only scores a few points per game, those moments will be highlights shared everywhere, electrifying the crowd. And with the electric Grobury crowd and Muurinen's brash personality, we're talking about globally viral exposure. So when you put it all together, yeah, it's a weird move, but it might also be genius. He's not gonna be just another 5-star recruit anymore. He'll carve out his own path, mixing the EuroLeague, NCAA, and eventually the NBA into one career launchpad. But what do you think? Did Muurinen just outsmart the system, or is this move too risky for an 18-year-old? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more NBA takes through an overseas lens.